And welcome everyone. We are live at the stage bringing you Huron County's International Women's Day on this March 8th. 110 years since the first inspiration for this celebration took root in Copenhagen, later made official in 1975 by the United Nations. You may be watching on Channel 1 at Hay Communications or Huron Tel. You may also be watching here at the station's Facebook page or on YouTube. And we will be watching your comments stream throughout the program. Tonight is about celebration. It is about recognition. It is about reflection, strength, achievement, compassion. And we are supporting 3 local community organizations: Canadian Mental Health Association, the Women's Shelter Second Stage Housing and Counseling Services of Huron, and Huron County Food Bank. You can make donations all throughout the program with the organizations scrolling along the bottom. Well, let's talk about what you can expect over this next hour or so. We will be recognizing women that you have nominated from our community. We have song by local artists, greetings from community officials, and insights from our local 3 supported organizations. But to start you off with something very special, something that takes me back to the presidential inauguration, here with our inaugural poem is Karen Dickens.
When we pause and reflect on the past year, one wonders, how did we manage to survive, to get here? Meetings on Zoom and schooling in our room. Everyone's stressed. Life as we knew it seemed doomed. No one gave up but dug really deep, and there was Mom running on very little sleep. Gotta give Dad credit too, but Mom was the head of her very own zoo. Get the kids up, dressed and fed. Then it's gather the laundry and make the bed. Get everyone ready, lunch is made. One last check and out to the bus. That was before lockdown became a must. So now in lockdown days, Mom has had to change her ways. It's still a never-ending task, and more jobs for which she didn't ask. But day after long day, she always finds a way to be a wife, mother, teacher, and cook. Though it's tough, easy is how she makes it look. Some women are nurses, some are teachers, some are police officers, some are stay-home moms, and some are preachers. So to the women who have and will become teacher, homemaker, breadwinner, nurse, wife, and most of all, Mom, we salute and thank you for all you have done. Somehow you make it look easy, and maybe just a little bit of fun.
Karen, thank you. Somehow you make it look easy and just a little bit of fun too. What great words, and really shines how women play so many roles and effortlessly, but we know a lot's going on behind the scenes. Well, I'd like to start off with some recognition of some of the women who have been nominated, and we'll be doing this throughout the program. First, I want to share the names of some women leaders who are board members of the Sunset Community Foundation, and they were nominated, and they include Nan Brooks, Deb Gill, Stephanie Allen, Charlene Machelin, Penny Nelligan, and Chris Thompson, and we thank you for all your leadership on that front. It's just so well needed. Let's talk specifically about one person. I was given a little bit of a story here, Bonnie Bainham, and she was nominated by the CMHA, that's Canadian Mental Health Association. Bonnie, it's told, has been working so very hard for public health on the COVID intake. And somehow yet she still manages to do her volunteer work as a board member of Gateway Center for Rural Excellence. Yet she was last seen, guess where, grocery shopping for someone who was isolating. She's always putting other people's needs first. And hey, that's just Bonnie Bainham, and she's a good friend from Bayfield. Thank you so much for what you do, Bonnie, your care and your compassion. Let's also talk about Anne Sosholotuak, and she was nominated by Elaine Hayter, and who made a donation to the Huron Women's Shelter. She says that Anne is so dedicated, kind, and thoughtful, and she helps with HR at Hayter's farm. She gets housing in place, furniture, sets up apartments, and gets our foreign workers set up with grocery shopping each week. She keeps the plant employee morale up and spirits up and just keeps things running. She's an amazing woman. Maybe you know her too. When you see her, tell her we think so too. Well, let's send a little song your way. We have two artists. We're going to have one song each from Brittany Lyon and Danya Thurman.
One of the first songs that popped into my head was this piece. When I had heard that part of the donations were going towards the Canadian Mental Health Association, I thought of this song called Anyone. It was written and performed by Demi Lovato, and she wrote it when she was experiencing a time of mental illness, such as like depression, and she also had an addiction. Yes, so both to alcohol and drugs. And this is an important song because she wrote it when she felt like she didn't have anyone that she could turn to. And it's important to remember that there are resources available, and there are people here to listen and genuinely care about you.
Wrong, I feel stupid when I pray. Why am I praying?
sleeps unmade.
So we're here to celebrate women, and here's one of Canada's greatest female singer-songwriters. I hope you enjoy it. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique, and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged all the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, farmer, farmer, put away the DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees, please. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. And don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. I said, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Thank you.
Wow, we got a little bit of paradise going on right here. That picked me up. What a great two songs to kick us off and going. Again, wow, what a great evening. March 8th, International Women's Night. I want to share some more stories that I have of women nominated in our area, and I'm going to read right from the page as it's been given to me. Here's one I really enjoyed reading about. Chrissy McDougall. Chrissy works for the Huron County EMS, and you know, her job's a tough one, and the pandemic brought all new challenges, as you can appreciate. People on the front line, they're putting their lives at stake every single day. She goes above and beyond. It's just who she is. She had a particularly difficult call where a little boy had literally saved his mother's life, and she made sure that family was connected to local services. You know, she's strong, she's loving. It's hard. She works 12-hour shifts. She has her own girls, and when she heard that Exeter Villa had its outbreak, there she was, and there was she to help. She didn't blink an eye, in fact, and she's picking up extra shifts, doing what she can. These lockdowns have been tough on everyone, but let's remember how tough they've been on our first responder. Hey, Chrissy, if you're listening, thank you for everything you've done, and all the first responders out there, just tremendous. Well, here's a lovely nomination that came in, and you might recognize yourself in this list. 5 nominations. All the grandmothers who haven't been able to visit and hug their grandkids. Is that you? All the women who are looking after our elderly friends and family members in retirement and long-term care facilities. You know who you are. All the women who are helping their kids with online learning. That hasn't been easy. All the women who are working with community members who are struggling with mental health issues. And all the women who are volunteering at various community organizations such as food banks, hospices, schools, nursing homes, and the like. That's a lot of people. I'm sure you're one of them, and I know many, and it's just wonderful, all the work you've done. Well, let me talk about a few others that have come in. You might recognize the Zielman family, Crystal, Jen, and Karen Zielman, and also Emily Calderwood. They are nominated. They are my girls who are mothers and doing an excellent job We have 7 beautiful grandchildren, 2 born during COVID. Can you believe that? And 5 born just before. I can't even imagine. Crystal, Jen, Karen, and Emily are wonderful moms. So proud of you all. Oh, those are good words to hear. Well, some more good words to hear. We're going to hear from some of our community officials, particularly Ben Lobb, our MPP for the area, and Minister Lisa Thompson. And we just learned today that Minister Thompson has also been selected and nominated and carries the role now of chair of the Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians for Canada. And she's actually the first woman from Ontario to hold that post right here from Huron-Bruce. So let's hear from our community leaders. And let's have a couple more songs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lisa Thompson, MPP for Huron-Bruce, and it is an honor to bring greetings on behalf of Premier Ford, the province of Ontario, and women from throughout the Commonwealth. I would like to thank the organizers of Huron County's event today for bringing women together from all corners of the county, because together with women around the world, as we celebrate International Women's Day, we unite as we embrace today's theme, Choose to Challenge.
Hi, I'm Ben Lobb, Member of Parliament for Huron-Bruce. On March 8th, we recognize International Women's Day. We celebrate the accomplishments of past generations and look forward to the progress of the future. 2021's theme is Choose to Challenge. And I'd like to recognize and thank everyone who was nominated tonight, as well as those that put forth the nominations. I'd like to also recognize our special friend Roz, who's back at the station Goderich tonight, hosting this important show. All the best to everybody in 2021. God bless.
Fly over the rainbow. Well, smells like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh then why can't I?
When we used to say goodnight, I'd always kiss and hold you tight, but lately you don't seem to care. You close the door and leave me standing there. Oh, honey, that's not fair. Well, that's it. I quit. I'm moving on. The other night we had a date and you showed up 2 hours late, and though your hair was all in place, somebody smeared their lipstick on your face. Well, she smeared it every place, yeah. Well, that's it, honey, I quit. I'm moving on. Oh, you made me want you. You made me leave you. You made me tumble and fall. But if I can't have you the way I want you, I don't want you at all, baby. I can take a lot 'cause I love everything you got. Though your kisses thrill me so, if you've got someone else, I gotta go, and that you know. Well, that's it, honey, I quit. I'm moving on. Oh, you made me want you. You made me need you. You made me tumble and fall. But if I can't have you the way I want you, I don't want you at all. Baby, I can take a lot 'cause I love everything you got. Though your kisses thrill me so, if you've got someone else, I gotta go, and that you know. Well, that's it, honey, I quit. I'm moving on. Well, that's it, honey, I quit. I'm moving on. Ooh.
Oh, Danya, we're not moving on, not without you. What a great song. I'm in the mood. I'm not going anywhere. I don't think you are either. And Brittany, you just performed one of my all-time favorite songs that I'm trying to learn on the ukulele, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And you just brought back to me so many wonderful women from the Bayfield Ukulele Society that we've gotten to know. And if Elise, Reverend Elise is listening, we wish you all the best out in Vancouver and in Victoria, I believe, that you've moved out of Huron County. So thank you for your leadership to Huron County in the past. Well, let me share more stories and more recognitions with you. And again, remember along the bottom, you can donate to these wonderful organizations that help us all. And you can see the names scrolling along the top. But let me share with you a story about Heather Joy Ross. And she was nominated by Jacqueline Langlois. Heather has championed human rights and equity for women for over 30 years. She has selflessly promoted the health, welfare, and safety of women and their cause throughout her time. She's a visionary. She quickly saw disparity, unfairness, and discrimination and set out to change perspectives, to change laws, to inspire, to assist, to encourage equity for all women. And she just has a passion for doing. Well, she was part of establishing safe houses in Huron County and played a critical role in the formation of the Huron Women's Shelter in Goderich. She's also a founder of the Southwest Region Women's Law Association, and she was recently awarded the Law Society Medal, which honors significant contribution to the legal profession. Thank you so much, Heather. What a joy to have you in the community and 30 years of contribution. Well, a couple other things. People just called in and we have names to share with you. Roxanne Nicholson, big fans of yours with the North Huron Community Food Share. And Michelle Campbell Gaynor, if you're listening, people are thinking about you and all you do. Let's not forget Diane Millen. You are a star in so many people's books. There's Pauline Overholt Tate as well. Thank you, Pauline, for everything you do. And let's talk about Marg Dykert. She works at the Huron County Food Bank Distribution Center, one of our favorite organizations here. And of course, she worked with COVID and helping people provide for hungry families. Just important work, important work. Thank you so much, Marg. Hey, Shannon McGavin, if you're listening, you're doubly nominated. Yes, it's a twofer. Allison Wilson and Rachel Robinson both wanted you to know your stars to them. $40 they donated to the Huron Women's Shelter in your name. And she said that you're just a woman who's been a champion during the pandemic. So thank you, Shannon, for everything you're doing. Hey, Lori Chardnard, Star Taxi, are you listening? Because you've been nominated by the Canadian Mental Health Association in Exeter. Big fans of you. They said you go away above and beyond to make sure some of our most vulnerable population is getting their needs met through the challenging times of COVID. You've been a referral source. You've helped people by making sure they make a way to place phone calls and make sure people are getting to their appointments and just knowing how important it is to contribute to their overall wellness. Lori, their team, they're so respectful to you and everything you do. You make such a positive impact. Well, thank you to everyone who nominated people. It's so great to hear about women in our community, and the list goes on and on. We have so many more to share you. But first, let's hear from Marianne Zielman with the Food Bank and the great work that they do.
Food insecurity is one of the best kept secrets in the region. Although it spreads right across Canada and right here in Huron County, many people have no idea of the need that exists. At the distribution center, we take in large quantities of food and downsize it to distribute to the food banks and aid agencies in the county and surrounding counties.
Having this in the area is important because there is so much need for it. It's incredible. A lot of people are hungry. There's a necessity for it at a big time. And unfortunately, it looks like the need is more and more all the time.
Raising 4 children on a limited budget is not easy by any means. Even to live on your own with a limited budget is not easy. So you need to quickly become aware of any resources that might be available to you. You're constantly operating out of an energy of scarcity and lack, which feeds into your children's beliefs, and it snowballs. Right? And it just makes things worse for you.
I'm a parent, I have 2 young kids, and I think you know, some of the best things you can do for your children are teaching them how to eat and what to eat. You know, not just what to eat, but how much to eat and the proper proportions of everything. And I think as healthcare providers, we can certainly continue to try and make that a priority when we deal with young families and mothers.
Without our wonderful givers that give us the food, vegetables, and that type of stuff, I mean, we would be buying, and the budget may not cover that. So it's very important. If there's somebody out there that doesn't necessarily have food to bring in to us, donations money-wise is wonderful, because we are able to take that money and we are able to buy in bulk a number of different things from other suppliers.
There's more and more evidence coming out, you know, weekly, monthly, yearly about the benefits of healthy eating. You know, the classic ones that we are familiar with, diabetes, high blood pressure, but other things, you know, types of cancers. I think something we need to continue to improve on is preventative care, and a huge portion of preventative care is a healthy lifestyle, and that's centers around diet.
So studies have clearly shown that proper nutrition helps students be able and prepared to learn. having a healthy breakfast in the morning sets the stage for a child to really be open and able and truly ready to learn each and every day.
Food insecurity has no demographics. It reaches across all populations, from seniors to living on one meal a day, to children going to school without lunches, and to couples who are working hard trying to make ends meet but just not having enough till the end of the month.
We're back, and thank you to everyone at the Huron County Food Bank. And Marianne, it's been such a pleasure to interview Marianne throughout the year and hear how the supports are there. When you think about food insecurity, it's so foundational. It's so foundational to our needs. And you know what else is foundational nutrition-wise is spirit and hope and joy. And that's what tonight is about, celebration and recognition. And I'm reading the comments, and I have to share with you, Brittany, you are slaying it. Such a gift. Hey, awesome poem there, Karen, and we couldn't agree more. We couldn't agree more with all the great nominations that are coming in, and I'd like to share a few more of those with you. There is Amanda Zayer, and she was nominated by David Harder, and he made a donation to the Women's Shelter for $20. He said there are so many reasons that Amanda deserves to be nominated, but to name a few, she's kind, she's thoughtful, and she demonstrates that every day, and that is such an inspiration. Thank you, David, for recognizing Amanda. Love it. Janice Hayter Oak, you've been nominated by Elaine Hayter, and she made a $20 donation on your behalf to the Canadian Mental Health Association. Janice is a nurse practitioner who works above and beyond the call of duty. She's incredibly generous, especially to those in need. Well, let's also talk about Kathy Coleman, Lindsay Cole, and Shannon and Ellen Green. Everyone's thinking and talking about you too. Thanks for being you, and thanks for everything you do. I also want to give some thanks to two of our sponsors. We have more, but two that jump out at me right now. My FM for help spreading the word of this event, and also Coldwell Banker. Thank you for all you do in the community, and again, for sponsoring this event. Well, it's my pleasure now to introduce a special greeting from someone I've come to know weekly, twice weekly in fact, Dr. Miriam Klassen. I consider her a great community leader. She's the executive director, the chief medical officer, if you will, from Huron-Perth Public Health, and she has been at the forefront of the COVID pandemic since late February, at least last year. Everyone, welcome Dr. Miriam Klassen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Miriam Klassen, Medical Officer of Health for Huron-Perth Public Health. It is such a joy to address you all on this International Women's Day. I'm honored to have been asked to participate in this year's celebration. Although I wish we could gather in person to recognize the day, it's wonderful that we can be together virtually. Thank you to everyone involved in broadcasting this meaningful event. As we approach the one-year anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic, I want to acknowledge the tremendous resilience, kindness, and determination that our community has shown. This past year has been marked with uncertainty, personal sacrifice, and economic hardships, to say the least. On every front, the pandemic has disproportionately impacted those who were already marginalized, vulnerable, or struggling, including women. From the rise of gender-based violence to lack of childcare, providing essential work, increased caregiving, and homeschooling duties, women have been deeply impacted by the current health and economic crisis. This has no doubt taken a toll on the mental health and well-being of women across the country and in our communities. There will be much work to do to address these issues once we start to recover from the pandemic. On this International Women's Day, I look at all of the dedicated individuals and organizations who are leading change in our community and advocating for girls and women. I know that we are well positioned to address the issues that women are facing in our community right now. Thank you to the organizers for putting together this wonderful event to honor the amazing women in our lives who've been champions throughout the pandemic. Thank you also to the agencies, Huron Women's Shelter, the Huron Food Bank, and the Canadian Mental Health Association, who have been committed to supporting women during this time. Certainly, women have contributed significantly to the COVID-19 pandemic response, both locally and nationally, and I am grateful to be surrounded by such inspiring women every day. Thank you for everything you have done in this past year and for your commitment and passion to support, advocate for, and celebrate the accomplishments of the tremendous women in our community. I thank you for the opportunity to share a few remarks and wish you a successful commemorative event. Happy International Women's Day.
Well, I think it's fair to say we're grateful for Dr. Klassen and all that she's done in this past year. She's been a compassionate leader, and I always remember her words, be kind. She says it every interview, every chance that she gets. She knows these are difficult times, and just that she shares again, we have it in our capacity. We have strong women leaders. We have strong community agencies. So again, to your entire team at Huron-Perth Public Health, thank you for everything you have done throughout this past year and more. We are forever in your debt. Well, let's share a few more great stories and nominations of women out there. To begin with, Karen Dickens, you didn't think you'd get away without being nominated. You are our poetess, and you are a star, my friend. I can't wait to hear more of your recitations. Winola Bailey, you were nominated by Pauline Overholt Tate, and she also made a donation of $20 to the Women's Shelter. And this is a great story about Winona. Winona takes her pet, Bugsley, yes, the name is Bugsley, to Blue Water Rest Home and Exeter Villa in Huronview for pet therapy. She's also a part of a group of people in Zurich who recently made Valentines and dropped them off to the residences in Zurich. She's also a member of the Zurich Beanfest Committee on Facebook and the Zurich News Facilitator. She's a busy person, but hey, Bugsley, this goes out to you too. Hey, Heather Dickens, if you're listening, Janice out there is saying hi to you, and she made a $20 donation in your name to the Huron Women's Shelter. And Heather is a wife and mother. Her children are aged 8 and 5. Heather is a full-time junior kindergarten teacher. Oh goodness, you have our praise. You have a class of 26. During COVID, she's been teaching her class on Zoom. We all know how difficult that's been, and giving the support to her own senior kindergarten and grade 3 student. So at work and at home, there she is. And she also volunteers for the Exeter Skating Club. Thank you, Heather, for everything you're doing. Well, I have a few more here that came in and some good stories. Hey, Shirley Steckley and Annie Zielman, if you're listening, listen to this. I would like to nominate my mother, Shirley, and my mother-in-law, Annie. Well, you don't usually get a twofer like that. You are incredibly strong women. You have made such a huge influence on your families, and I'm so proud to call you both Mom. Geez, I want to get to know them as Mom. Maybe I can adopt them too. I think I want to get to know them. Here are some more names of terrific ladies. Teresa Andrajica, I hope I did that okay. Ashley Orler, Sue Ann Rasenberg, Kim Kramer, Dawn Rasenberg, and Kathy McElwain, all wonderful women in the community. And just know people are thinking about you. Well, I have a few more here, and there's a bit of a story. And there's a donation to the Huron County Food Bank of $60, and it's 3 people who really do tremendous work with Queensway. Donna McLeod, she's the executive director of Queensway, and she's been an integral part of keeping the residents and staff safe. And she's also gone to other long-term care centers that helped battle COVID. And Donna just puts the health and well-being of others ahead of herself. It's her leadership that's been able to help limit the exposure. So thank you so much, Donna. As well, Luann Tribner. Luann is the infection control head of the Queensway Long-Term Care Center. Staff are so proud of the fact that they have not had a COVID outbreak. and that's saying a lot. Her nomination represents all the staff who work so hard at keeping Queensway residents' health. So thank you to her. And let's not forget Kathy McClure. Kathy is the ADOC at Queensway, and she works in both long-term care and in the retirement wing. And she's, of course, dedicated to the health and well-being of all the residents and staff in the home. And she just pitches in to solve wherever she can. We all know what a toll it's taken on our long-term care and retirement homes. It's been a tough year, whether you have family in homes that you haven't been able to visit. So our hearts go out to those who have been alongside and walked in compassion with those that we call mom, grandmom, sister, whomever. Thank you for everything you are doing. You just are rock stars in our book. Well, next, I'd like to introduce another segment of one of our organizations. It's the Canadian Mental Health Association, and let's hear a little bit more about them.
Women's March, CMHA Middlesex Exeter site. Our services during COVID-19. Meal program. Due to our day program being closed, throughout the week staff deliver homemade meals throughout town to support our participants. Case management. Case managers continue to offer support via phone. This includes mental health wellness check-ins, advocating with other service providers, and helping participants with their individual goals. Community wellness. Weekly life skills groups are being offered both by phone and video. We are a barrier-free community and inclusion is our goal. Groups currently offered are coffee and conversation, anger management, rock talk, and journaling. Huron out of the cold, heart to home. CMHA Exeter site has proudly joined forces with Huron County Housing, Choices for Change, and the community, successfully growing the Goddard Shelter to be a housing first focus program, offering connections to community resources, providing a safe place to stay, and a nutritious meal. One woman can make a difference, but together we can change the world. We are mental health workers. We are mothers. We are strong. We are leaders. We are a team. We are here. We are in this together.
Oh, we are into this together. And thank you for reminding us how important mental health is. And it has been difficult this past year, more so. It's been amplified. And that's why support for organizations such as the Canadian Mental Health Association is so important. And there's so many others out there that work on the front line. And we've had the pleasure at the stage of interviewing so many of these organizations. And I'd like to mention Rural Response for Healthy Children. They've just done a super job, certainly on that front too, keeping children in the front of our thoughts as well. So thank you to everyone, and be kind, as Dr. Klassen said. It is important. Hey, if you're watching on Hurontel right now, I know that we're in competition for bingo night starting at 7, but I want you to know that you can still watch the program on the station on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, Hey continues to show it all the way through. And if you are watching on Hurontel and want to take a break and play bingo, that's cool. You can see the replay of this later. So you're not going to miss out on anything. Not this Women's Day. No siree. Well, let me give you some more recognition, some more nominations that came in. Kind of excited about this one. And boy, is this one a good segue. Hey, family and friends, and I can only imagine how many family and friends came together for this nomination, and they made a donation to the Women's Shelter to recognize Bernice Glenn. Bernice's New Year's resolution, get this, was to make a difference, to make a mark, to do something to help somebody else. You see, she was turning 70, and she thought, well, maybe I should just get at it. Well, you just don't hold Bernice down. She's a busy person, and she's a go-getter. So she didn't know what was before her when she made this resolution, but she knew she had a whole year to do it in 2020. Well, she had read about the coldest night of the year, and she saw that it was being held in Goderich. Well, she got involved in a big way, and she built a team called Bernie's Bunch. Bernie's Bunch. I so want to be part of Bernie's Bunch. And they raised over $11,000. She took that same spirit to support the fundraising efforts for a Christmas dinner at the Out of the Cold and the Women's Shelter, and also augmented that with gift certificates. And they surpassed her goal. It was around $7,500. That's just incredible. Bernie's Bunch, you are a great bunch, and let me know how I can be part of this. I feel I'm missing out. I think I need to spend more time with Bernice. Well, Jim Williamson had something beautiful to say about Amy Wilm. He commented on her countless hours of hard work for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, such an important organization, and the Little Shop all year round and even more during the pandemic. Such an amazing role model. Thank you so much, Amy, for your example and your contributions to youth. That's so important. Well, Kim Kramer, if you're listening, we like you a lot too. You're pretty amazing. Rita Mullen, hey, you were nominated by Gwen Devereaux, and a donation was made in your name to the Huron Women's Shelter. Rita spent her Christmas and New Year's with her sister in her final fight with cancer. And Rita was unable to see her family because of this. And so she was a COVID hero nurse who gave her sister this wonderful gift of spending time with her. It's so unselfish, and Rita deserves this recognition as an inspiration to us all. And again, for everyone who stood beside someone, a loved one that was going through a challenging time this year, thank you. This is what it's about. This is what recognition means. You have compassion, and that might be the best gift that you can give at all. Well, let's spend some time learning more about the Women's Shelter and take a little listen here. This is from an interview I did just a couple weeks ago, and we learn a ton about the Women's Shelter.
So the services that we provide at the Huron Women's Shelter, second stage housing and counseling services, there's a lot of services. I think sometimes people see the residential programs only, but there are several other programs. So if I could start with, we have a crisis line. It's a 24-hour crisis line. So people can call in all hours of the day, 7 days a week. And we offer support over the phone. So a woman might call to that is actually in crisis, and we are able to talk her through that. We may be able to, we would call the police if needed. A woman may call for linkages to community support services like Canadian Mental Health or addiction services, that type of thing. And it may be just talking to someone, right? Just having someone there to talk you through something. The other programs that we do have are the residential programs, of course. We have the shelter in Goderich, which is a crisis shelter. So that's for women and children who are experiencing gender-based violence and are at high risk of violence. So that might be a woman living with an abusive partner in home with children. And then our second stage programs, we have 3 buildings in Huron County, and those are apartments that are rent geared to income. So it's a bit more of a transitional program. So women can stay there, they pay rent, they have their own apartment versus the shelter where you live communally. And we have staff at second stage that help women work on their goals throughout their time staying there. We also have outreach counseling. So we have a counselor that works with women, again, that have experienced gender-based violence in community. So she travels here in county. At this time in COVID, we're doing most of that virtually. But generally, the counselor goes out in Huron County and meets with women to talk about gender-based violence and support her through that. We also have a court support program, which is wonderful because that counselor helps women through the family court process, which can be very hard to navigate. So you have that person there with you. to help you with the documents, to help you. She could even attend court with you if you need that support, which is wonderful. And then we also have child and youth counseling. So children and youth counseling, the counselors go out to schools. They may meet the children in a public place like an employment center, that type of thing, or they could meet them at our second stage programs. So there's a lot of services for people.
Well, there you have it, and you saw my face up close, so yeah, that was something too. Hey, Krista, I learned so much about the offerings at the Huron Women's Shelter, and I have to tell you, I didn't know all those. I really thought mostly about the shelter, so I wasn't aware of the counseling, the second stage housing, and so it really opened my eyes. So thank you for that overview. I think that's helpful to know the breadth of the services and how we can help point people in the right directions. Hey, I'm watching the comments roll in, and I just want to share some of these. Loving all these stories. We're surrounded by so many wonderful women and inspiring role models. Could not agree more. Hey, and Kathy McElwain does a great job of supporting the skaters, and Kim Kramer has done what needed to be done to keep the job of keeping hockey players safe and back on the ice. And boy, do we love our hockey. So thanks for doing that. Much appreciated. Well, would you be okay if I shared some more stories and names? I just feel like I want to. It just fills my heart with joy. I want to tell you about Dr. Tiffany Kitmore, and she was nominated by Gwen Devereux, who made a donation to the Women's Shelter. Dr. Kitmore is not only a talented surgeon, but a harpist who has brought her talents to a patient in palliative care in Goderich Hospital. Well, of course, that was greatly appreciated, and one of the examples of the extra mile that she goes, and of course, everyone in the front line, you're going the extra mile every day, and we thank you for that. Hey, Lori Armstrong, we see you. We also see you, Mary Jo Drager and Belinda Axford and Dr. Ming Lamb. We see you all, and people are watching and thanking and just appreciative of what you do in the community and in our circle. So thank you all. Hey, I want to call out a couple more sponsors who supported this program tonight. I want to call out the Country Gas Bar. Thanks for being there on our stops. Every once in a while we take a Sunday drive, and it's nice to know that we have a friendly place to fill up, and you've been there for us. And the Ross Firm. Thank you, Ross Firm, for helping with this endeavor tonight and all you do in support. Well, as a break, let's turn to our wonderful muses, our wonderful songstresses, Danya and Brittany, once again for a couple more songs.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come on home, where my body's been a mess, and I've missed your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you found the right man who fixed it for you. Are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that was dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? 'Cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I've missed your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why won't you come on over, Valerie? I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. 'Cause since I've come on home, well, my body's been a mess, and I've missed your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over and stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, 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 oh Valerie, why don't you come on over, Valerie?
This piece is called You Say, and it is by Lauren Daigle. I keep fighting voices in my mind that say I'm not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just a sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know. Ooh, you say I'm loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I'm strong when I think I'm weak. You say I'm held when I am falling short. And when I don't belong, you say I'm yours. And I believe, oh I believe what you say of me. I believe the only thing that matters now is everything you think of me. In you I find my worth, in you I find my identity.
Well, I absolutely believe. I believe in Danya. I believe in Brittany. And we had a comment in the comment section about girl power songs, and I think we've been listening to them all night long. Hey, some of our friends are off to bingo, but no worry, the rest of are here, and you can continue to watch on Facebook or Channel 1 on Hay and later on Hear and Tell. But we're scoring big here, so we're okay with that. You know, our next cute little segment we want to show you is something fun. And it comes to you from Shelley Johnson, who is also an educator and a performer. It's a COVID original, and it just reminded me, I want to say my personal thanks to a few women who've inspired me over the years, especially in my youth. And I want to do a big shout out to Mary Moffat around Brucefield, and to Willie Laurie in Varna, and Eleanor Robinson here in Goddard. You were my educators, my teachers, and I thank you for everything you taught me and the grace with which you did it. Thank you to you all. Let's go now to Shelley Johnson and a little take on education in COVID.
As we teach through COVID-19, my co-workers and me, trying to deliver the Ontario curriculum. Online learning's a treat. Google Classroom and Meet. But we must try our best. We have to stay home. My wardrobe standards have dropped, but my expectations have not. Is it appropriate to wear my toque to the Zoom meeting with a kid on my lap? Yeah, I must try my best. I have to stay home. Just one final thought, and then I'll go and check on my tots. The mute button isn't just a suggestion. Oh, the feedback is bad. Your fellow classmates are mad. Just do your best. We have to stay home. Oh, just do your best. We have to stay home.
Well, great, Shelley. Now that song's going to be in my head for the rest of the night and probably in my dreams, but it's catchy. I like it. We just have to do our best and stay home, and don't tease the cat. That's what I learned. Don't tease the cat. I think that's great advice. Shelley, what great humor and what a great way to rework that. And I think you said everything we were thinking. What a tough year for families, and for everyone who's a mom out there who did double duty and going to work, staying home, looking after kids. Maybe you're going to school too. Wow, our hats are off to you. Thank you. And Shelley, you captured that beautifully. Hey, if you've been enjoying hearing stories about our friends in the community and names, you know, you can send it to us, put it in the comment section. We'd like to do a shout out and make a donation to one of these organizations that have been so instrumental. That would be so helpful. So again, I'm keeping an eye in the comment section. Send us a name. We'd be happy to share it. And while you're thinking about that, why don't we have another song from Danya?
Some Bob Dylan for you. I seen love go by my door. It's never been this close before. It's never been so easy or so slow. Been shooting in the dark too long. When something's not right, it's wrong. But you're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Dragging clouds so high above, I've only known careless love. It's always hit me from below. This time around it's more correct, right on target, so direct. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. across your face. You could make me cry if you don't know. Can't remember what I was thinking of. You might be spoiling me too much love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. Flowers on the hillside blooming crazy. Crickets talking back and forth in time. Blue river running slow and lazy. I could stay with you forever and never realize the time. Situations have ended sad. Relationships have all been bad. Mine have been like fillets and rainbows. But there's no way I can compare all the scenes to this affair. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm doing, staying far behind without you. You're gonna make me wonder what I'm saying, and make me give myself a good talking to. I'll look for you in old Honolulu, San Francisco, Ashtabula. You're gonna have to leave me now, I know. I'll see you in the sky above, the tall, tall grass and the ones I love. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. You're gonna make me lonesome when you go. I hope everybody's having a great time out there. Ooh, you're gonna make me lonesome when you go.
Wow, Dania, you are going to make me lonesome when we go, but we're not going anywhere yet. We still have a little bit more time, a little bit more song, and a few more names and stories to share. So let me tell you a little bit about Lynn Higgs. And she was nominated by Gwen Devereaux with a donation to the Huron Women's Shelter. Hey, Lynn, you give constantly at your work. We all know it, in and out of your community. And during COVID, the stress has been great on all our healthcare professionals. And there's several examples of Lynn helping out people who are struggling outside of her work. And she just does it in this quiet, positive way, just in her own way. And it's always those people, those wonderful people who quietly go about it and just leave their fingerprints there in the most beautiful way. Lynn, thank you for being you. Well, I also want to tell you about Sherry Hayter. She was nominated by Elaine. A donation also made to the Huron Women's Shelter. She's a nurse practitioner at the Blue Water Rest Home, and she's an amazing mother of 2 young sons, and she's very dedicated to her community and her family, and just an amazing woman. Sherry, this is for you. And what we have for you both right now is another amazing song. It's the final song by Brittany, and it is one of my favorite songstresses, My Heart Will Go On.
Today is all about honoring and celebrating women, and I thought what better woman to celebrate than a vocal powerhouse of the 80s, 90s, Celine Dion, and her My Heart Will Go On.
Every night in my dreams, I see you.
I simply have chills, absolute chills from that song. What a fitting song as we near the end. And could we just take a moment to thank all the musicians in our community who lifted us up over the pandemic in 2020 and are always a steadfast contributor to our mood and morale and remind us of what's important through song. I'm going to exercise a little host prerogative and make a little acknowledgement of my own. And I would like to say a thank you and call out all the terrific work of Brittany. You have contributed so much over this year in song and spirit. You've kept us hopeful. You've walked alongside us. And so I just want to thank you on behalf of Full Pop Media and everyone. The comments are absolutely just flowing through and streaming through your beautiful voice. Bravo to all. What a wonderful way to spend the evening. Brittany, our heart goes on with you, and thank you for everything you've done and continue to contribute. You are such a contribution to the area. Well, I have two other notable women to recognize as we come to the close. I can't believe we are coming to a close. We'll end out with something spectacular, I promise you. Dania, you don't get away so easily. We've got to talk about you. And Judith Christensen happened to send some words along so I could do that justice. She says she is so proud of you, Dania. You're going above and beyond in everything you take on, and especially during the pandemic year. You sang from your balcony every night, helping people deal with their stress. Wow, we can't get enough of that. You were homeschooling your kids, your two kids, and yet you were also studying at Ryerson. You began a new job. You're doing charity work. You're helping kids in your new place in Burlington. You're an amazing mother and daughter and friend to many. Hey, people are just so proud of you, and we know you're proud of your Huron County roots, and you take time and you took time to contribute to this event. Dania, thank you. You and Brittany, you are our songstresses. There's one other person who's not getting away without acknowledgement, and she's been behind the scenes. She has been whispering in our ear throughout this event, and that's Maureen Cole. Maureen's been working behind the scenes with an amazing committee for the International Women's Day. They made this happen. They pulled this together. Incredible what they've done in such a short period of time and being able to manifest it into a virtual show. The committee is just a terrific bunch, and let's thank all the local organizations again, our nominators, and our sponsors. From here at the stage, we thank you for letting us do this with you. And let's go out with something really special. Let's hear from Dania one last time as we roll out with Imagine.
So this isn't a female artist, but I thought it was fitting. And I hope you enjoy it. And please feel free to sing along. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of men. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed yourself tonight. Thanks for coming out. It's a great cause. Thank you for letting me be part of it. I'm really grateful, and I hope you guys had a good time. I did. Good night. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy.